Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. As always, thanks so much for taking the time to listen to our show. Pam Forster joins me today, and we have a great discussion about the transition from Halloween to Christmas down at Walt Disney World. How can you get both of those great seasons in one Walt Disney World vacation? We also get a great question about how early you should line up or comfortably should line up at the Magic Kingdom if you don't have a ticket to the Magic Kingdom that day but are going to the party. Should you get there at 3:30, right at 4 o'clock? We talk about that. We also get a question about Disney's Aulani Resort. Is it worth it to pay for the Ocean View room? Pam has some really important thoughts on that. Also, we talk about the Disney dining plan. How do you normally allot your credits? Is it always a table service meal for dinner? Do you use the quick service meal for lunch? Is it your breakfast option? Do you snack at breakfast? We talk about what our typical allotment of credits works for us when we use the plan. This and much more. We even talk about that old seasonal Halloween party pass that they had back in 2019. Remember that? Melissa asked a great question about that on today's show as well. Don't forget, our show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make all these shows possible. Couldn't do it without you. You can support us as well. Just $5 a month. And you get our bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come on over. We'd love to have you. Patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2561 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents, yes, over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Again, hope your week is going well, that you're being very productive and having a lot of fun, because you know what? No matter what you do in the world, you should try to incorporate fun in there. I know that you probably have to go to work, and it's kind of just, it's that time of year, holidays kind of still far off. It's just kind of that, what are we doing right now? Not a whole lot happening with vacations probably planned. It's just not a lot of excitement happening this time of year unless you're a big football fan or anything like that. But you know what? You got to make your own excitement. We're going to try to make this week a little bit better with some fun Disney talk. And joining me, we have the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel. She's Pam Forrester, and she just got back from an amazing, crazy road trip down to the area near Cleveland, Ohio. And she got to see one of the most revered things in American pop culture history. Pam Forrester, what's going on? Happy Wednesday.
We did. So if you're planning a trip to Cleveland, you may be thinking about visiting like the NFL Hall of Fame. Isn't that
Correct.
Somewhere near there? The Rock and
Canton,
Roll
Ohio.
Hall of Fame, yes. Right? Catching one of their world-class teams, professional teams.
Yep.
My family, where did we go? We headed to the house that was featured in A Christmas Story. Yes.
Leg lamp all around. That's right.
Leg lamps for everybody. So yes, we did that. It is something actually I've been wanting to do for a while. And it has transferred ownership a few times. And the current owners, I can say, are taking really good care of the house and have added some things to it. We were really impressed, truly. I didn't know that more than the exterior was used in the filmmaking. There were some scenes that were actually shot in the house. They had a lot of the some of the stuff like from the movies, like they have a Red Ryder BB gun, one of the actual ones, and they have some of the costuming. They have a gift shop that had I had a hard time making some choices, people. Let's just say I wanted to put the whole gift shop in my bag and go with it. But it was really cute. I was glad that we did it. And it would be worth, I mean, I'd go back, I mean, at some point and do it if someone was in the area and wanted to see it. So it was fun. I was really, it was a fun day.
So when you drive around the greater Pittsburgh area, if you see a house with a leg lamp in the front window, you will now know where Pam Forster lives, because
I was very tempted by the full-size leg lamp, which I think you can get other places. Like, because I think like when we drive around to look at Christmas lights and stuff, you'll see someone who has one. This was legit full size, and it was there in all its glories. It was just, it was crazy.
There you go. Paul in our, he's joining us here live on Facebook, says, filmed in Ohio, but based on my old hometown of Hammond, Indiana, 30 miles from Chicago. And Wendy, who's joining us over on Instagram, says, headed to Cleveland in 2 weeks for college tours, and it's on her must-do list. Look at that.
I agree. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. And you know what? The best thing about it is they let you take pictures. They let you touch the thing. Like, it's sort of like interactive. Like, you know, the scene where the dad is like moving the damper down, like from the furnace. Mm-hmm. It's there. And I have a picture of Steve like touching, like he was, you know, moving the damper open and closed. I'm not sure what you were supposed to do, but yeah.
So stay tuned, because we will be giving you the secret message at the end of today's show. Right? So have your secret decoder ring handy.
That's
yes,
right.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. First question of the day is coming from Kat Coppersmith over on Instagram. Question about the Halloween at Disneyland. How hard is it to get tickets to Oogie Boogie Bash? Do those staying on site get priority like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party for resort guests at Walt Disney World? Pam Forster, talk about Oogie Boogie Bash. Kind of bad news for this year.
Yes.
They're gone.
Yes. Yeah, they are gone. They are challenging to get, I will say. They are probably one of the hotter tickets in town, for sure. It just is, you know, one of those things that so many people want to go to that it's, you know, the sale out. They had a couple different releases of it this year. I think it was for people staying on site, and then they did another one, but they were pretty much sold out after the first few days that they were available.
Yeah, it went super quick. I mean,
it did.
This time I think it was a little bit smoother than last time. Last time the whole systems went down. It was like 2 weeks before the systems came back up. It wasn't that big of a nightmare this time. I mean, you know, nightmare's good for Halloween party, but not for trying to buy tickets. But yeah, but they go quick again, because this is something that is really going to draw the locals out, right? It's a special, if any special event at Disneyland, the locals are going to go to, because that's like great. You know, it's like, hey, it's something different. Let's do this party. So yeah, you got to really get on that. When you see like the ticket sales are going to happen, I hate to say it, but it's like a Run Disney registration. I mean, you almost have to like block out the time and maybe take off that morning of work and get in the queue. It's a virtual queue usually and stuff like that.
Yes.
All right, Isabel's got a question. It says, random question, hoping you might know the answer to. My Disney solo trip was cut short when I caught COVID, had to miss the Halloween party that night. Customer service said that I could use it towards a future party. Does that only include the Halloween party, or could I use it towards a Christmas party too? So this one we probably don't have the answer to, but how in general, Pam, have you heard Disney customer service handling things like this? Because I think Ricky was was down at Walt Disney World this past weekend, and I think she went to the Halloween party on a ticket, like not on a ticket that she didn't get to use, but she used the value of a ticket that she missed because she was expecting Baby Lucy or something like that.
Yeah, so when you buy a ticket for a Disney destination, they are non-refundable.
Yep.
This is one of the reasons why we advise many guests to purchase their tickets as part of a package, because then, and this doesn't really include party tickets because those you do purchase separately, but when possible, you know, if you can purchase your 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-day ticket with a package, you're in less danger of losing out on the value of that. And the value of those compared to a party ticket is huge. So if you aren't able to use it because you aren't going, then that's a challenge. But the party tickets, typically you're not able to get your money back or even the value applied in most circumstances. Sometimes if you have an extreme circumstance like this, Disney customer service will be a little bit lenient with that. And what they will do is let you apply the value of that ticket toward the purchase of another one. Now, if you're going in a subsequent year or even later that year, the ticket price may actually be higher than the one that you purchased, and you would be responsible for paying the difference, of course, in that space. I don't know what they're doing in this particular case, but if you give Walt Disney World Ticketing a call, and you can just call the general number, they will either transfer you or give you a number specific to call. They'll be able to answer that question for you for sure.
Yeah, good answer. I mean, basically, what I would guess is you would get what that ticket was worth that day when the party was happening, and then you can use
what
that,
you paid for it.
Yeah, and then and then that value, if you want to go to the Christmas party, you would get that value towards a Christmas party ticket. You know, if you want to go, say, in November, December, something like that. So, and hope you're feeling better. All right, Wendy's got a question. Speaking of Wendy, who's going to go on a college visit and go see the leg lamp and hopefully not get the soap in the mouth because, you know, you said a naughty word. You can't do that, actually. I asked Pam. It's the first thing I asked. Did you stick the soap in Steve's mouth?
I know, you can't. That's the one thing that they told us you could not do.
Because Anna made such a great photo op, but you can't do it. She was going to Mickey's. Mickey's Not So Scary for the very first time, and we don't have a park ticket that day. How early do people line up for the 4 o'clock entry? You know what? Here's one of the things. Because, I mean, I think it used to be like Disney. Remember how, like, the buses used to say, like, DVC, Disney's best kept secret, you know? Like, yeah, not anymore.
Yes.
For a while there, the 4 o'clock entry was, like, Disney's 7th best secret, you know? Like, people thought it was 7 o'clock, but, hey, if you know, it's 4 o'clock. Right. But now the whole world knows. If, like, 3:50... like it's like 15,000 people outside the Magic Kingdom. So what's the status on that, Pam? What's your philosophy on trying to like get into the Magic Kingdom before the party? What would you do if you didn't have a ticket?
So I would probably reckon on being there probably at least 15 minutes early, and knowing that you may have a bit of a wait to get in, but I think that it's not going to... I mean, the line, they're actually really good at moving people through the turnstiles. And the thing that holds it up a little bit with party tickets is that you have to get a wristband. So that's part of the thing too. You can always elect to do that. Well, they usually have you do it right there. They usually have a specific entrance for folks going into the party specifically. And that's what you go through. You'll get your wristband and go from that point forward. But it's just, you know, I think it's not going to be even as impactful as like getting there on the morning of like opening. Probably more people line up for the morning opening than the Christmas party or the Halloween party. But
yeah, they want to get you in. I mean, they want to get you in because they want to get you, you know, because that area gets congested so quickly. It's not a big area, and the monorail's dumping people off, the ferry's dumping people off, people coming in from TTC, and it's an uncomfortable place to be for a super long time at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Florida. I mean, it's in the blazing sun, and people are dressed up in their costumes. Trust me, I was Captain EO one year. It's hot. So they want to get you in so at least you can go get a soda or, you know, get in the shade, and they're trying their best. But yeah, I would say if I had to give you a time, maybe 3:30, and maybe you'll be towards the middle to the front of the pack. I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't want to be out there too long. But I mean, I know you look at your value. I don't want to waste
You're
time.
getting there earlier than I am, probably.
And I'm an early bird. I'm always early. I'm like always first one on the buses. That's just my grandpa and me. Yeah. My grandpa always had me first.
I know. I'd like to be early too, but like for this, I don't know why. I feel like if you come in closer to the time when it's opening, you're probably going to have less to wait.
You'll flow through. Yeah, you'll flow through better. Yeah. You won't, like, I would stand and cook, like, but I would maybe be up in the front. But yeah, if you go like 4:15, you're probably not standing at all. You're probably just like riding the wave right through. And you're probably not losing much time at all. So it's probably a better experience getting there at 4:15 than 3:30, honestly. I'd be suffering a little more, but I'd be suffering for a good cause. All right, because I counteract Ricky. Ricky would get there at 9:30 for the party. Yes. That's just how it works. Michelle, this is an interesting question over on YouTube. Says, I have a question. Well, you found the right show. I know Disney likely won't offer the Halloween party pass again, but do you know why did they offer it in 2019? This is an interesting question. And if you're new to the show, you might not remember this because, good Lord, this was before COVID. If you don't know, back in 2019, Disney had this thing again, obviously geared towards locals, where you could buy basically not an annual pass, it was like a seasonal pass that got you in the Halloween parties for that season, and you got to go. And I don't know if, I mean, I guess it's just like anything else, you know, people outside of Florida could buy them. I mean, you know, I'm an annual pass holder living in Missouri. We have annual pass holders all over the world. I thought that was an interesting play, but Michelle's asking, why did Disney make that play? Because the hard ticket events are always popular. What do you think? I mean, I've never really thought about why they made the play. What do you think?
I don't either. And I wonder if they did a little research and saw that like most people attending the party bought a lot more merchandise or bought a lot more, you know what I mean? I wonder what was behind that. I can see why they won't do it again. I think it makes it a little more challenging to predict how many people are going to show up for each party, how to staff each party. Then when we have things like you know, the lightning lanes and all of that. I mean, I realize that doesn't happen during the party, but still thinking about all that, I think it's a little more challenging to manage because of that. But yeah, it was a cool thing. And it's a great reminder, I think, for all of us, right, who are Disney fans. When something first comes out, like its first year or two, oftentimes it's offered and the price is lower.
Yep.
And there are more inclusions, and anytime there's something like this, like jump on it.
I mean, honest to God, like the Disney dining plan is exhibit A, B, C,
Yes.
all the way through Z on
Yes.
that example. I just remember the first time we had the Disney dining plan, I'm like, I told my wife, because we were there, like when it first came out, I was like, am I going to get arrested when I leave here? Because we just ate so much food for so little money. Like
Right.
we all had our own appetizers. Like I was like, there's no way in God's earth we could all eat this much food. Like it was ridiculous. You know, and of course they tamped it back, you know, in subsequent years, but it's exactly it. Like I was like, there is no way this works. Like
Right.
the first year was ridiculous because I was like, dude, Paige had an appetizer. I'm like, Paige eats like 4 chicken nuggets. Dude, she was getting a full-size adult app. Like it looked like Thanksgiving dinner every time we sat down. It was crazy.
It's funny. Yeah, I mean, it just is. I think like, and the first time like something comes back or whatnot, I think it's just, yeah, it is. It's a good reminder for all of us. But it was such a unique offering, wasn't it? I mean,
totally forgot about that till
Yeah.
Michelle brought this up. But it was, I mean, there were locals that went like every single party, and they started strategically like doing their costumes. You know, they do different costumes for each weekend, and they go throughout the week. I mean, I think for like Halloween fans that were down there for, you know, some of the cast members like pooled their money and like did this. It was kind of because I mean, there's a lot of folks who really get into Halloween, like the spooky season kind of thing. I mean, this is like a dream come true because if you were really, really into it, it brought down, it's like season tickets, right? It brought down the cost per party way down. But I mean, you're investing a lot up for it's just like an annual pass, right? I mean, if you go every day, you're making out like a bandit. But I mean, they're hoping you go 5-6 times.
Right, for sure. And the other thing is I wanted to mention, because Universal actually has frequent fear passes. And those are for folks who like Halloween Horror Nights and want to go to multiple ones. There's different ones, as I believe, happens. But so Universal has kind of picked up this. If it's something that's in your wheelhouse and you want to be frightened, this is not a not so scary situation. This is a scary situation, but lots of people like it. Yeah.
Goofy. That's Goofy getting ready for spooky season.
Right? Yeah. Goofy pops over to Universal at this time of year because he's goofy with the chainsaw.
All right. Good question, Michelle. We love that thought there. Okay. So James has a question, but it's so long, I'm not going to pop it up on the screen or else I'll drown. You won't see me here on the screen. He says, for the standard let's talk Disney dining plan. Speaking of Disney dining plan.
Yeah.
For the standard Disney dining plan, do you prefer to have snack for breakfast, quick service for lunch, and table service for dinner, or quick service for breakfast, snack for lunch, and table service for dinner? Historically, we've always done the traditional snack, quick, table routine, but I'm thinking of changing. I can't quite eat the quantity anymore. So by extending the hours between quick service and table service, I'm hoping to maximize my appetite. So how do you, I think everybody philosophically on the table, on the standard Disney dining plan, right? Where you get kind of, it's basically a, a quick service meal, table service meal, a snack per day. I kind of do well, let me ask you first. How do you typically do it when you're on that plan?
So I'll throw something else into the mix here, James.
Oh Lord, here we go. Formulas.
What if you do one of you, if there's more than one in your party, this only works if there's more than one of you in your party. Right. What if you do one of you does a quick service and one of you does a snack for breakfast. Then the other one does a quick service and the other one does a snack for lunch. And then your table service meal for dinner. I think that way you sort of get like the option of having, so like for instance, for breakfast, you could get Mike's beloved bounty platter.
Amen.
That Mike loves. And that's going to come with eggs and waffles and
protein,
bacon and sausage and like a biscuit or something, right? All of that stuff. But then somebody else could get like a bagel with cream cheese or whatever, something, and you split those. And then at lunch, you do something similar. Because there are actually some good lunch options that are really snacks. I mean, and by the way, who couldn't have like a Mickey pretzel as lunch? I'm just saying, like, that's a good deal there. But there are some like that have, I don't know, like the chicken fried rice, I believe, in Animal Kingdom.
Yak and Yeti. That is a steal. That is good. It's a big portion and it's solid. That is really good. That's a sneaky thing.
It is. Yeah, it is. It's a good deal. So lots of good stuff like that. There's some great ice cream sundaes that I think would make a fine lunch.
Heck yeah, you're on vacation, people. And I think that's the thing is you got to get out of like your normal routine. Like I got to say, when I'm at home, like when I eat lunch, I'm like, okay, you got to make it to dinner, right? Dude, you're on vacation. Like if you're hungry in 2 hours, there's always a good snack. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. Like go get an ice cream bar. You know what I'm saying? If you get hungry, who cares? Just eat again. You know?
And if you're there during a festival, all the better, from one of the festival booths. So I think that is typically what we do. And that's how we would play it too. How about you, Mike?
I am a rule follower. You just blew my mind when you said about everybody going their own way. Like, no. I gotta have everybody doing the same thing. Like, okay, that confused me. I hear you, and that's a great strategy, but that just totally made me all confused. Typically what we'll do is we will save the table service meal for dinner. However, we do the flip-flop sometimes because we'll do like a character breakfast sometimes. So
True.
On those days,
that's a great use of it.
Yeah.
Too.
So like maybe we'll go to Ohana and like Ohana for a breakfast. We like that for like a character breakfast. But what we do on that day is we always have in our room like Rice Krispie treats or Pop-Tarts or something. We just throw those in like the luggage and just have them. Cause like sometimes you get back to the room late at night and you just need like a snack before bed and even in the morning out the door. So on those mornings where we'll have character breakfast, we'll use the table service meal for the character breakfast. But what we'll do is we'll schedule that for like 10:30. Okay. So what we'll do is out the door, we'll grab a Pop-Tart or a Rice Krispie treat out the door. We'll rope drop Magic Kingdom at like 8:30, whenever it opens, 8:30. We'll hit like 4 or 5 attractions at the Magic Kingdom, really work up a good appetite. We'll have that Pop-Tart to kind of tide us over, and then go over and have our character breakfast at Ohana, at 10:30, whatever time it is, we can get it, kind of the latest one before lunch. Have that character breakfast, then we don't even need lunch. You know what I'm saying? Like lunch is a wash because you're stuffed. You've had a huge breakfast. And then that night, you're just kind of like, we had a big breakfast. Now we can just have kind of a counter service hop over to Epcot, maybe have Japan or fish and chips or whatever. And you're just like, that's a good day. You know what I'm saying? You're not even like looking for a table service meal that night. Like you don't need to put a beer garden on top of that, man. They're just putting you in a coma.
It's such a good value too, because like Akershus, you can use as your table service meal for breakfast, but you can't use it for dinner. It would be a more signature. I think they call it a signature meal, right? And you need to use 2 credits for that. Or they wouldn't call it a signature meal, they'd call it a 2 credit character meal. So that's a great strategy to use for that. But I mean, definitely, it's so funny when the dining plan came back, we as a team, we did like all this research and we were looking at it and we were like, okay, seriously, if you're eating at some of the character meals, you're killing it if you get the dining plan.
You almost lose
Like,
money with kids too a lot of times because
yes.
and plus you're prepaying for it, which to me, it's how my brain works, and this is why I like cruising. I prefer things to be prepaid, and that way I'm on vacation. I'm mentally not having to make calculations when I look at menus. Like I just want to be like, it's already done. You know what? I'm on vacation.
Yes.
I've already paid for it 2 months ago, 1 month ago, and let's just enjoy the moment. You know, because when I'm on vacation, I will order something cheaper if I'm paying for it in the moment. Like this, I can't help it. I'm tight. It's my grandma in me. I'm cheap.
It is. Yes. But if you are dining at some of those places or if you have kids that are qualified for kids prices, you're really leaving money on the table if you don't at least explore the dining plan. So
I agree. All right. Greg Zan has a question here. Do you think Disney World is going to have a special ticket for the end of 2024? We love the 3-park ticket, but it wasn't valid for our November dates. I'd probably guess no, because just the end of the year is super popular with the holidays, right?
These special tickets are typically offered summer/beginning of fall, and I know lots of people wish that they were available all year long, and they're just not. They haven't really offered them during this end of year time in the past, so I don't predict that we'll see them again. Anything can happen for sure. And the good news is, like I mentioned before, this is one of those incidents, like if you're including the ticket as part of your package, then if at a later date a special ticket comes out, we can typically alter your package to include that new ticket type. If you're purchasing standalone tickets, that is the time where you're sometimes stuck with that because you are. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Okay. Next question comes from Jen. Thanks for joining us over on Facebook, Jen. With rising prices, where do you think you get the best bang for your buck in the deluxe resort category at this time? Great question. Best bang for your buck in the deluxe resort category.
I know. It's tough too because there's a lot of different factors into it.
It really depends on what you're looking for. You're looking for proximity to the parks. You're looking for amenities at the resort. Looking for dining.
I have a couple of answers. Okay. I'll force
this is more your bailiwick, as they say. I'm more of a moderate value guy. Yeah, go ahead.
So I think if you're looking straight on price alone, you can find some of the least expensive prices at both Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge in their standard room offerings. They just are the least expensive. And some of the reasons are that their standard rooms don't accommodate up to 5 guests. All their standard rooms only accommodate 4, where all the other deluxe resorts have standard rooms that do accommodate 5 guests. So that's something to think about depending on your party size. Now, I will say I also love Animal Kingdom Lodge and Wilderness Lodge. The Wilderness Lodge is back and forth as one of my top hotels all the time. Every time I stay there, when I leave wishing I had more time at that resort. Every single stinking time. So when I stay at the Wilderness Lodge, I truly love to get one of the Woods View rooms or one of the rooms that overlook the pool because it really enhances my stay that much. I love sitting on the balcony and being able to hear the noise from the pool sort of echoing around that area there. It's fantastic. And when I stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge, I also really enjoy the Savannah View rooms. For me, that is an upgrade that I'm willing to pay for. So then that sort of makes them not the least expensive always. So in my other realm of where you get the most bang for your buck, I have to say those Epcot resorts for a couple of different reasons. First of all, the fact that you can walk to 2 different parks, I think is huge. It just is. And they're parks that are good to walk into at any time. So you can walk to Epcot and you can walk to Hollywood Studios. The other thing is that you have great access to the Skyliner, which also opens up another world of possibilities for you, not just with theme parks, but also with resorts. So I love those too. So I don't know, Mike, what do you think? Like, if you're like thinking value here, like,
well, I mean,
cost
I'm with you
versus benefit.
Well, because I mean, this is what I do every day, obviously, because I'm looking at prices for times and stuff. And of course,
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom Wilderness Lodge is going to give you the lower cost on the deluxe resort. And philosophically, though, when I think about this, I think a lot of folks, when they go to book a deluxe, you're always thinking things like, I think your mind is always drawn to like Beach Club, Yacht Club, like those Epcot ones, and of course the monorail resorts. I think a lot of people do, like, front of mind, don't think of places like Wilderness Lodge. I think Wilderness Lodge is always forgotten. I think Animal Kingdom Lodge, maybe not so much. Maybe it is, but maybe not. But I think you nailed it. Like, I have never left Wilderness Lodge like not overwhelmed by how cool the stay was, because it's just such a beautiful, amazing resort with great amenities. Because Jen came back and said, what about the amenities? I love the amenities of Wilderness Lodge. I think it has great dining options. I'm a huge fan of Roaring Fork. Geyser Point is one of the greatest places to enjoy just a chill, relaxed, good meal outside. Just
if that were in my neighborhood, that would be dangerous.
Amen. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, how cool would it be to have Geyser Point like across the street or in your subdivision? I'd be broke. I mean, broke.
The owners would know me by name. Exactly. They would send me Christmas cards.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so great. I mean, the pool there is amazing. Yeah. He's got great slide for the kids. It's just, because like you said, it's got an energy to it because kind of that horseshoe shape. You got that great boat ride over to the Magic Kingdom. It's really got it. It just has those fir trees just make it so comfortable.
They do. It's like a picture.
It is. Ways. It's like, it's so secluded, yet you are a hop, skip, and a jump from the Magic Kingdom. I mean, I never,
and a boat ride.
I love it. I mean, I love staying there, but then so many times when I'm thinking, okay, we're going, Wilderness Lodge is never front of mind. When it comes time to like put pen to paper, I always forget it's there. Like, it's never front of mind. And I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because it's secluded.
Maybe. Yeah, I know. And I also think too, while I didn't mention this the first time I answered it, for those who have young kids and are going to spend the majority of their time in the Magic Kingdom, the monorail it is a huge benefit. It just is in that space. And the Contemporary in particular, because you have the garden wing rooms there, which are not in the main tower. They're actually in an off-site, like not off-site, but not in that main building. They're in an off building. And you can walk over to the Magic Kingdom. So walking in monorail there makes that a great choice too. There's just so many things to think about. For me, though, I always say, I think what it comes back to is theming. What do you really like in the theming? And I think that is impactful to each guest to consider that as part of their thing, because Disney does a themed resort, as well as anyone does.
I agree.
And I think you should consider that.
I'd say it's definitely Animal Kingdom Lodge, Wilderness Lodge, and especially, the holidays tip Wilderness Lodge way over. I mean, if you're there from, November, December, definitely. Wilderness Lodge is just like a Christmas card.
It is.
You walk in there because I don't stay there every holidays, but if I'm at Walt Disney World anytime the Christmas tree's up, you better believe I'm catching that boat over just to check it out. It's that cool. All right, question from
Nunya.
Nunya Biz. It is he's got his New York Jets shirt on in his profile over on Twitter. I love this. Dude, this is so perfect. It's a New York guy in a Jets shirt and his name's Nunya Biz. This is so perfect. I shout out Nunya Biz. He's our Be Our Guest podcast listener of the week. Right there. Anyway, and he's not spamming us because it's a real question. Best tip for Aulani for a first-time visitor, non-DVC hotel only. Is Ocean View worth the extra cost there? Pam, you've stayed there. What do you think?
It's hard to say because it is an ocean view, but it's not it's set back from the ocean. So you're not going to be like right there. And it's really challenging. This is not a Disney thing. This is an ocean view room category thing. When you're getting an ocean view at any resort, let me just give you a heads up, my friends. Some places, when they say ocean view, if you can lean out your balcony and crane your neck a little bit.
Yeah, is it a rubberneck? Is like a rubbernecking like right? On the interstate?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And see a bit of the ocean, that's considered ocean view. Now, Disney is a little more respectful of that room category, that you are going to be able to see the ocean from your balcony, but it's just something to keep in mind. And one of the other things that you probably want to do is see if you can get a good aerial shot of the resort. You will see that the resort is sort of set back from the ocean. So there's a bit of space there between your ocean view room and the water there. For those of you, and this isn't a Disney thing, but after I gave that little, put the fear into you of the ocean view thing, one of the things that you can get, not at Aulani, at other resorts, is ocean front. And an ocean front room is going to be what the rest of us think of as ocean view. So anyways, it's hard for me to say because the whole resort is beautiful. And if this is going to add significant cost to your room, I don't know that I would make this a priority. The priority is to get over to Aulani because it's gorgeous and it's beautiful. And I love staying there. I've been to Hawaii before, but Aulani to me just felt very different because of where it's located, because it's not in the middle of everything down there at Waikiki. And it's set, set away from that can get craziness. But it was a piece of Disney too there, and felt really familiar and fun and sort of like going home, and yet still was just beautiful. So I don't know that I would say that it is necessary. I think it really just depends on how much more it's going to add to the cost of your particular stay.
Look at that honest opinion. Like, you don't have to make the upgrade. You can just walk down and see it. It's there.
Yes.
You can't miss it. It's the ocean, and it's the Pacific. It's the biggest of them all. It's there, and it calls to you like Moana. All right, hey, we got to go to the inbox and get one of these questions. Shout out to Jason too. Said never got a chance to tune in live before. This is so fun. Jason, glad to have you over on YouTube today. Thanks for making it over. We appreciate you. Cindy says, hey, Mike and crew, just got back from Walt Disney World. Now I'm thinking about a Disneyland trip for 2025 in November. We're traveling from Toronto, Canada. Here's my question. Is it better to fly to Vancouver, rent a car, and drive down the coast? Or is it better to fly directly to Anaheim area? If so, which airport is best for Disneyland? Thanks for all you do, keeping the Disney spirit and the community alive and fun. Cindy Lou in the clubhouse in Toronto. I mean, I would fly directly to Anaheim. That's obviously your easiest bet. But I mean, I guess if you want to make it the road trip, because that's going to be a heck of a road trip for Vancouver.
It is.
I mean, that's like that's probably what, that'd be like 15 hours probably or more. That's, I don't know how far that is, but I'm guessing that's at least a day. At least.
Yeah, it would take a long chunk
Maybe
of your
two.
time. It really would. I would fly into the Los Angeles area for that. And the good news is you will waste a lot of your time flying from Vancouver. I mean, from Vancouver down. It's quite a long ways. I'm not good with how long, but it would take.
It's at least a day. I mean, because Northern California to Anaheim is that's at least 8 hours, I'm guessing. And so I mean, you'd have to go from Washington State through Oregon. I mean, it's got to be. I mean, almost 2 days. I agree. I don't want to Google it right now, but I mean, it's got to be in excess of at least 12 hours driving.
Agreed.
Fly.
I know.
Fly into
Anaheim.
Wish I
knew.
Fly into Anaheim. Let's just say that. Unless you want to make this
21 hours and 40 minutes.
Holy cow! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Why?
So,
oh my gosh! Fly to Anaheim. That's crazy. Yeah. Unless you're really into road trips.
It's beautiful. You will see some beautiful scenery.
Gorgeous. Yeah, exactly.
And I don't even know that would be along the coast. That's probably going to be straight down. So the coast at different times, like the roads get backed up and you're not traveling at 65, 70 miles per hour. So that's probably going to add a bit to your drive too. The good news is there are a lot of airports that are close to Anaheim, and hopefully you can find one that has a great price for you. You not only have LAX, which is about 40 miles away from Anaheim, but you also have Long Beach, you have Ontario, and you have Hollywood Burbank. So you can fly into any of those, and you will be able to get to the Disneyland resort really easily. And what I wanted to say is, we love this attitude where you just got home from one trip and you know you got to plan another one, because that is literally how I feel every time I get home. No matter how long I've been gone, I have to look forward to what's my next trip. So.
Absolutely. And it is a good thing. I mean, I've flown into LAX. LAX is kind of fun because it's like the big airport and there's a lot of options. I mean, there's tons of options, but I love, I mean, I've said this many times, I've loved flying into John Wayne because it is just like going back in time. Like they let you off the plane, like they drive the steps up to the plane and you walk right outside, and like your luggage claims outside there. It is, if you can get a flight into John Wayne, you got to do it once because it is so small. I swear, I was like, am I on a movie set? Like we were taking pictures like crazy. I'm like, Pam, we got to get a selfie. Like we're on the steps, like we're outside. And like the weather's great. I mean, it's just like it's like nothing else. Like John Wayne.
It feels like the flying golden age, really.
It is. It's so cool.
Doesn't
like,
it?
you just never get to see the outside of the plane like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you're on the stairs and everything. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. All right, last question of the day. But get out there. It is, Disneyland is the bomb. Get out there. All right, Jessica's got the last question of the day. Jessica from New Jersey. Hello, BOGP crew. The end of next month, I'll be heading to Disney for a Halloween on the High Seas cruise on the Disney Wish, then a few days in the parks after, and doing the Halloween party on Halloween night. I would say Jessica is going to be all Halloween up on this trip.
She's for sure.
She's doing all the Halloween. The night before the cruise, I was able to get a Saratoga Treehouse Villa, and then after, we're doing a split stay in two of my favorite resorts, the Riv and the Grand Floridian. I'm super excited to have the two random questions for you guys. We usually rent a stroller from Kingdom Strollers to be delivered to the resort when we check in. We're going to have it delivered to the Riviera the day before we get off the ship and grab it and head to Animal Kingdom while we wait for our room to be ready. I'm not really a cruise expert and have only been on one other a few years ago. What time do you think would be safe to have it delivered to the Riv? We will have our car with us. Also, one last small question. Do they still decorate for Christmas over the night after Halloween? Our last park day is November 1st in the Magic Kingdom. I was hoping for a little Christmas decorations before we left. Thanks for all you do so much, Jessica from New Jersey. So what about the question about what time should we?
So you have to be off the ship by 9:30-ish, right?
They're aggressive because they're flipping the ship.
Yeah, they are. So let's say 9 to do the pickup there. And so I would say you're probably safe to get it 10:30, 11, Mike, don't you think?
Yes. Yeah, it's 11, I would say.
Yeah, Mike's going to be a little more cautious.
Yeah, I'm always cautious on those kind of things. I just don't want to miss it.
No, and I agree. It makes sense. You don't want it to be there. You don't want them to be trying to deliver it and you're not being there. So I think by 11, you should be there. Unless you're walking off. If you're walking off the ship, then it can probably be a little earlier. Walking off the ship means that you're not going to give your luggage to them the night before. You're going to carry it all off yourself. And you are going to leave before you eaten breakfast or anything else that morning.
That's super early if you're going before dinner the night before, because right. you're swimming
and you got to swim.
I was saying, because you're not even you're not even ported yet.
Right. Exactly. There are fights on who has to take the big piece of luggage.
Exactly. You're like the Rose and Jack.
Yes, exactly.
Somebody's not getting on the door.
Yeah. So, I think the 11 o'clock, although you may be there a little early, what you can do is just to let the hotel know that you're there and explore your resort a little bit. And then you're off to the parks.
I'm trying to see the calendar, because November 1st, Halloween party is the 31st, is a Thursday. They'll probably have a Halloween party on November 1st because it's a Friday, I would guess. Because November 1st is a Friday night. I would not be shocked if there's a Halloween party on November 1st.
I don't
Is
have
there
the
not?
calendar right in front of me.
I don't know.
For
I don't know when the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties are because I don't have it pulled up. But here's the thing: there used to be this big thing that Disney snaps their fingers and it goes from Halloween to Christmas, like in one night, and it kind of does in some of the parks, but it is a process. It doesn't happen overnight, really.
And
the tree might go up.
Right. The times when you see the most dramatic thing is be leading up to the first Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party after the first Mickey's Not So Scary. And I will tell you, the first Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party this year is November 8th. So it's a little further into November. And one of the things we know is what happens is by Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, the first one, they're going to have most of the decorations up in the Magic Kingdom. They are likely not going to have them up at any of the other parks, and probably won't have them up at the resorts at that point in time. They do slowly start, but but the Magic Kingdom is the place where they have them up first, and that is by Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Like, come on, Disney. Could you make these names any longer, more complicated, more apt to tongue tie people?
That's what they do since, we've been doing it for 16 years. We're getting good at it, deciphering things on the fly in these emails. That's it's my lot in life, as C-3PO says in episode 4.
We needed C-3PO with all his different languages that he speaks.
Yes, I'm fluent in 6 million.
The last one is actually the last Not So Scary is the 31st.
Oh, really? They're not going. See, because I've always thought like that last one should be kind of like Big Lots. Like it should be 75% off or something. Like, dude, it's over. It's over. But yeah, why have it at that point? I'm glad. Just cut it off at the Halloween. I mean, that's how it should be.
Yeah, that is. But they have a full 8 days now to get ready for.
This one's for Disney. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for stopping Halloween on Halloween and not going for the cash grab on Friday night because November 1st.
Agreed. So
and not starting the Christmas party until the next Friday. Give them a week. We get a whole week of nothing.
So look for those decorations at the Magic Kingdom, but probably not at the other parks, or they may be starting to toward the end. But
I could throw out a background loop. That's not too hard. Just hit play on the CD player back in the day. Yeah, man, it's not too tough.
Who runs that CD player?
It's a CD player, right? It's got to be like backstage.
If not a cassette, my friend.
No, it's in my little mind's eye, Mike Robbins' little mind's eye. It's a 5 CD changer.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
Set to shuffle.
Yes.
No, it's not set to shuffle. It's programmed because it's always the same.
It's 100% programmed because
it's
like
order.
when the background loops are on, like when I have them play in my office or something, I know what song is coming next.
100%.
And when you're in the parks, then you know what song.
Yeah, because if it was like a different order, dude, it would put me in such like whatever. I forgot my educational terms, but dysmorphia or whatever. I'd be like, whoa, don't rock my world like that,
this
Disney.
Is not the right song.
Not. Yeah,
they skipped a song.
Yes, dude, that can't happen, Disney. We're gonna have to have a blog post and a podcast and 10 podcast episodes about that. We can't have this. Anyway, we gotta get out of here. All right, we're gonna be back on Friday, and we're gonna talk about something very important: small little things that can absolutely destroy your Disney day, like when you're on vacation, like just forgetting one or two little things, or just little minor missteps that can cause tragic consequences later in the day. So we're going to try to make sure you don't think about you don't forget about these things that can cause, then not catastrophic things. We're just kind of hyperbole here, but just little things that can cause you to have, not so pleasant day later on your Disney vacation. We don't want you to do these things. We're going to help you to avoid these kind of things, and join us if you're joined in live. We have a lot of folks tuned in live right now. Hang out with us and give us your thoughts so we can all have a better Disney vacation as we get down to our favorite places here over the next few months. All right, don't forget our show, always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan that next trip, whether it's to see the pumpkins during the fall Halloween season, to see all the Christmas lights here soon, or just to get down there and have a good time. Disneyland, Walt Disney World, Disney Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney. We're standing by, no additional cost to you. That's the greatest deal out there. And First-class service each and every time. Check out all the details right now over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make the show possible. It's just $5 a month, and for that, you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. Coming over this week, we'd love to have you at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give us a follow on the social media. Pam is at TMFLTPam. I'm at BeOurGuestMike. We'd love to connect with you on the social media, and we are always talking Disney over in the Clubhouse. We have our Discord server. You can connect with us 24/7, 365 at beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. I'll be looking to give you a welcome as soon as you join us over there this week. And join us this Sunday night. We'll have the live call-in show at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. We open up the phone lines and turn the show over to you. And we just have a good time talking Disney. We had a blast last Sunday night. We're going to do it again this Sunday night. So come on over, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Give us a holler, and let's talk Disney on Sunday night to wrap the weekend. All right, till we get back together again on Friday. We're going to have a good time with that. So till then, you guys have a great midweek. So for Pam, I'm Mike. Wishing you a great Wednesday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.